Hi everyone, it is Cooking with Gigi, and I'm getting ready to make something called white chicken chili enchiladas. And I'm starting off with 3 tablespoons of melted butter in a skillet. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of flour to my skillet. I'm gonna make like a roux that will thicken up the sauce that we're making for the chicken chili enchiladas. So we're gonna let that flour brown up a little bit in the butter. And I decided to go ahead and buy one of those rotisserie chickens, and that's the kind of chicken I'm using in this. You can actually, boil, bake your chicken, saute your chicken, however you want to cook it. It calls for 2 cups. Well, I tend to use probably at least 3 cups of the chicken. I like my enchiladas to be nice and full. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna add my 2 cups of chicken broth to this. And then we're gonna be adding some spices later. So my roux, flour and butter has been cooking, and I'm gonna add now 2 cups of this chicken broth. And I did make that chicken broth out of my better than bouillon that I keep in the refrigerator, because that way when I'm ready to make something and I need chicken broth, there it is. I just mix it with some hot water. Perfect. Okay, so I have this on about a medium. I'm gonna get this cooking. I want this to start getting thick. Once this gets a little bit thicker, I will add my sour cream and some spices. I'm gonna add some salt and pepper, and I'm gonna put some red pepper flakes in. And it also calls for a can of these green chilies. And I'm going to add some of my cheese, Monterey Jack cheese, to this. So this is getting thick. So I am now going to go ahead and add my sour cream to the pan. 1 cup of sour cream. And I'm going to add 1 can of the green chilies. Have it opened up. I'm gonna pour that in. You don't drain the chilies, you just put it all in there just like that. Stir all that in, and while that's melting in there, I'm gonna turn it down just a little. You don't want to really boil this, you just want it to be heated up. I will go ahead and add some salt. It says salt and pepper to taste. So I'm just gonna add maybe a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna add some red pepper flakes, but I'm not gonna get too carried away with them. But I'm gonna add a little, gives it a little bit of a kick. Okay, and some pepper. I'm gonna get some pepper as soon as I find the pepper. There we go. Pepper to taste. So I'll just shake it a little in there until I feel like it's enough. I think pepper's a good spice. My oven's ready. I have it set on 350. So I'm gonna be putting this in a 9x13 pan, and it'll get this sauce poured all over the top of it once I get my chicken and my Monterey Jack cheese. It calls for 2 cups of Monterey Jack cheese. I'm gonna go a little over that. My client had told me one time, he said it's really good when you cut into these and there's a lot of cheese. So I'm gonna add a little extra cheese, make people happy. Put cheese on top, it'll be delicious. Okay, you can see how it's looking, kind of creamy and thick. And I'll probably taste it, make sure it's spicy enough. It's looking a little bit spicy, so I think we're good. Okay, we have our chicken that I pulled from a roasted chicken, ready to go. And so I'm gonna go over to the other counter and start putting the chicken and the Monterey Jack cheese in the tortillas. Okay, so now I have my chicken that's shredded, and I'm gonna put it inside each one. I'm gonna even it out, making sure each tortilla has the same approximate amount of chicken in it. And then I will put a little bit of that Monterey Jack cheese on top of each one of these tortillas. Okay, I have divided the chicken up, and now I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle probably 2 to 3 tablespoons of this Monterey Jack cheese inside this tortilla. I want them to be nice and cheesy. And you know, you got to be careful what size tortillas you buy. You can do smaller ones, you can do larger ones, depends on how big you want them to be. This was a 10 count pack, and that's about how many you need. Like I said, I did go ahead and spray a 9x13 pan. Now I'm taking the cheese and the chicken and I'm pulling it kind of to the end, and I'm starting to roll these up so that they're nice and tight. Then I'm gonna lay this edge side down in my 9x13 dish that I have spread over here with Pam. Just to take a look, watch how I'm doing this. These are gonna be nice plump enchiladas. They're called white chicken chili enchiladas. Here we go, putting them in. Okay, see how I'm doing it? I'm just bringing it kind of forward and start rolling it tightly, holding both sides together so that you have it rolled tightly. Put it down in your pan like so. I'm going to finish rolling these all up. I have rolled up all of these tortillas with my chicken and cheese. I'm getting ready to pour the sauce on top of it. The sauce is ready. I will show you how the sauce looks. It looks pretty good and yummy. Okay. See how thick it is? That's gonna be good. So I will go ahead and take the sauce and pour it over. Well, my oven is ready. My enchiladas are in my 9x13 pan. Here's the creamy sauce that goes over it. I'm just gonna pour it in the middle. I'm gonna spread this all over these yummy enchiladas. I'm gonna have to do it this way so that I can scrape the pan. Okay, I have all the sauce in my 9x13 pan poured over the top. I'm gonna kind of pull things and let the sauce pour down in between and the sides, on each side, making sure that they don't get dry. I want them to have the sauce on all the enchiladas. Looks like we have plenty of sauce. I'm probably gonna go ahead and kind of stick my thing down in between each one and let the sauce get down in there. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you get it ready to go into the oven. Creamy, completely covered really well. Making sure the sauce is covering it so we don't get dry areas. All right, I'm gonna put this in the 350 oven and let this bake approximately 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, now I almost forgot to tell you about the Monterey Jack cheese we're gonna put on top. We want that cheese to melt all over. And like I said, I do use more than what this recipe normally calls for. So I would say at least 3 cups. I put a lot of cheese inside of the tortillas with the chicken. And then I want to get a nice even topping of cheese all over the top. Now, once I get this cheese all on, I will put it in the oven and let it bake, like I said, about 20 to 25 minutes. When it's bubbling, you'll know it's done. Okay, everyone, check it out. White chicken chili enchiladas. I baked them at 350 for about 25 minutes, and then I did turn on the broiler and let them broil for about 4 minutes. I kept my eye on it so I could get a little bit of a brownness on top. It's bubbling, it's good, and it's ready to taste. I may give it a little bite here for you in just a second. Okay, so I'm gonna try to cut just a little bit in the corner here to get a little taste of this. I'm not gonna take a whole piece. It'd be kind of hard to take just a little piece, but I'm gonna do it. I think I can handle it. It's got plenty of chicken. It's got plenty of cheese. It looks pretty yummy. I know that it's hot. You can see how steamy it is. It's not dry. I'm gonna let this cool. Okay, so I have a small bite here. I'm gonna taste and let you know what I'm thinking about it. I think I know it's pretty darn good. I've made this plenty of times. Ooh, it's hot. White chicken chili enchiladas. Plenty of cheese, a little spicy. I did add some extra spices. So try making this dish as soon as you can because it's really good and it warms up very well. Have a great day, everyone, and thanks for tuning in.